Hello friends, welcome to the next video series of object oriented programming and the second unit which we were observing since last video about inheritance and pointers. So today we are going to understand about the various other pointers. In the last video we have seen about the function pointers and how to pass pointers to function. So while pointers to function, we just go on with a revision today at what function pointers, how to pass pointers to a function and call by value and call by reference. Then on we will see about how to point pointers to objects and pointers to derived classes. So here function and pointers, as we are knowing that pointers can point to function, which are also known as function pointers. Pointers can be passed to a to the function using call by reference, and pointers can be returned from functions also. So while passing pointer to function, we have already seen about this program in the last video, which was giving an output of answer that is 30, and we understood that this is known as call by reference. Now we will understand what is call by value. Consider that a teacher is writing her notes using a pencil, and there is a girl named Rena, and she wants notes from the teachers. Now what she does is she asks the teacher to give the notes. Now what the teacher does is takes a Xerox copy of her notes and then gives it to Rena. She doesn't want her original copy to get affected. So she takes a Xerox copy of her notes and gives to Rena. So in this scenario, consider that teacher is taking a Xerox of her notes and giving the Xerox copy of Rena to Rena. Now if Rena scribbles anything on the Xerox copy, this doesn't mean that the original copy of the teacher is getting affected. No, this won't get affected because it is a Xerox copy. So this is similar to the value call by value scenario. Now consider that if your main function is having x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 2, and add function is called from a main function, then this x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 2 are copied in the call by value to the parameters a and b. So a is having also the value 2 and b is also having the value 2. Now if you perform a is equal to a plus 2, that means you are adding the value of a, not x over there. So that is a's value will become 4 and b's value will become 5. So this has done over there that a is equal to 4 and b is equal to 6. But it has not changed the value of x and y. X is still remaining 2 and y is still remaining as 3. So only the Xerox copy has been changed. This is known as call by value. That if you alter the formal parameters, it doesn't affect the actual parameters. Now let's see how the scenario of call by reference. Now this is a call by value program which we have seen that if you change the value of a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3 and return c, that it is going to give the value that is main is equal to x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3, that is at 204 location. Now when you are writing add x comma y, a new memory address is generated at add function at 116, where a is being copied with value 2 at 300 location and b is assigned a value 3 at 304 location. In the add function you have done a is equal to a plus 2. So you are doing actually by adding the value of a, that is 4, and b at that is 6, which is at memory location 300 and 304. So when you are displaying the value, you are adding this value, a is equal to 4 and b is equal to 6, that becomes 10 into c and returning the value of c. Now when you display x and y, the value of x and y is 2 and 3, because you are displaying the value of x which is at 200 location and y which is at 204 location, which is 2 and 3, which has not been affected though a and b has been added. Now call by reference. In the other scenario, if the teacher gives its notes and pencil to original notes to Rena, now and if Rena scribbles anything on the notes, then obviously the original copy of the teacher gets affected and this gets changed and teacher gets upset as the notes getting changed. This scenario is same as call by reference. So in call by reference, if add function, if x and y are there and add function is there, if you call the call by reference and add ampersand x comma ampersand y, you are passing the address of x and address of y. So when you write asterisk a plus 2, it means you are changing the value of address of x as x plus 2. The value of x, that is 2 plus 2, and that will become 4, and 3 plus 3, that will become 5. Okay. So you see about call by value reference. Here you are having integer a asterisk a plus 2. So similar program is written. Now we will see in memory representation. If you are having main x is equal to 2, 200, and y is equal to 3, that is 204. Add ampersand x comma y means add 200 and 204. Ampersand x and ampersand y we are passing. So we are actually having a is having the address location 200 and b is pointing to address location 204. So you can see add function 106, where a is pointing to a 200 location and b is pointing to 204 location. So when you are writing asterisk a is equal to asterisk a plus 2 and asterisk is equal to asterisk b plus 3, that means a value where a is pointing, that is x value will change and it will become 4, whereas y value will become 6. So now x value will vanish and it will become x is equal to, and y value also will get vanished and it will be replaced with new values, x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 6. That means when you are changing the formal parameters a and b, the actual parameters x and y gets affected in call by reference, right? So this is call by reference, that we pass the address of the variables to the function, and altering the parameters will alter the real values also. Now how to return the pointers from a function? As we can see, it's not a big deal. Only while writing add function, see the syntax, you are writing integer asterisk add, not only integer, now it will be a pointer, and while returning you have to return ampersand c inside the add function. So this is just the change, and while again calling the function add, when you are writing integer asterisk ptr, means it is going to return the address to the pointer and you display the asterisk ptr. Previously we were writing as integer answers equal to ampersand x, add ampersand x and ampersand y. Now this add function is returning pointer, that is why we are storing it in integer asterisk ptr, and accordingly the program will be giving a segmentation fault. Now why the segmentation fault is coming? Because we have not, now here just observe why the segmentation fault is giving, because we are writing c as integer c is equal to asterisk a plus asterisk b, and we are returning the address of c. This should not happen. The c should also be a pointer, because we should return the pointer over there, and that is why now just see the changes which we have to do. Make a c also as a pointer, address of answer should be assigned to c, and then we are writing address c is equal to asterisk a plus b, and then return c, which is a pointer. So now this will not give you an segmentation fault. Okay. Next, the pointer, void pointer. If a pointer doesn't point to any memory address or any location, this is known as a void pointer, which is also known as a generic pointer. It can hold the address of any data type and it is not associated with any of the data types. So an void pointer can point to integer variable also, float variable also, character variable also. That is why it is known as a generic pointer. We write it as void asterisk ptr. In C++, actually we cannot assign the address of a variable to the variable of a different type. So if I am writing integer asterisk ptr and float a is equal to 10.2, I cannot make ptr to point to a, because a is of type float and ptr is of type integer. This cross compatibility is not there. So for that, the solution is there. We should declare it as a void pointer. Okay. So to overcome this, we are holding the address of a void pointer. You have integer asterisk ptr. This will give you an error, because ptr is a pointer which is integer and f is a float variable. So it will say cannot convert float to integer pointer. So the same program can be resolved as we declare a void pointer ptr, integer a is equal to 9, and we are making ptr is equal to ampersand a, means it is pointing to an integer variable. And here now, while displaying, we have to convert this pointer to a static cast, that is to an integer. We have to make it to convert it into an integer pointer using static underscore cast. So we write it as static underscore cast, and we have converted into an integer pointer. Okay. In a similar manner, if there is a float variable and if we want the pointer ptr, that is a void pointer, to convert it into the float variable, we will write as it is equal to ptr is equal to ampersand b and convert it into a float pointer using static underscore cast float pointer ptr. And this is how we are making the use of void pointer. Next is a null pointer. The application of a null pointer is that when we don't point to any valid memory address, then that we make it to point to a null variable, which is used to actually perform the error handling with pointers. And generally when we pass as a function argument and want to return a value from a function, that is a pointer, when we don't want to actually pass the actual memory address, we make the use of a null pointer. So a pointer which does not point to any memory location is a null pointer, and used to initialize a pointer variable when that pointer isn't assigned to any valid memory address. So we write it as return type asterisk ptr is equal to, in all capital case, null. So this is a null pointer which shows a null value, and it is referring to the 0th memory location. So need of null pointer is when we do not want any assign any memory address to the pointer variable, we make it to point to null, so that we do not get a garbage value at the compile time. If we do not do so, that while dereferencing, surely we can get a garbage value. So here we are there integer asterisk ptr, and we are writing cout asterisk ptr. Now here ptr is not assigned to any of the variable. That is why when we are displaying the address and value of a pointer, it will give you an output as error. So we can avoid the above situation by using a null pointer. We can create a pointer integer asterisk ptr is equal to null, and then we can check if ptr is not equal to null, then we can display the value of ptr, else we should declare that it is an invalid pointer. So this is how we can make the use of a null pointer. So in this video we have seen about call by value, call by reference, how to return pointers to function, and two different types of pointers, that is void pointer and a null pointer. In the next video series we will also learn about this pointer. Thank you and have a nice day.